Dear learners, in this session we will discuss about applications of complexation. Let's remind something what we have seen about complexation. Here you will require a center which will have affinity toward the ligand. So depending on number of binding sites available at your ligand, there will be donor acceptor mechanism which allows formation of complex. This complexation technique has various applications and its impact over various things associated with your drug molecule. The first application that we will discuss about is complexations are responsible to enhance or they are responsible to change or alter the physicochemical and biopharmaceutical properties of drug molecule. You have studied about various states of matter in which you thought about various colligative properties, additive properties, constitutive properties of your drug molecule which are having direct or indirect impact on reactivity or consumptivity of your drug molecule. So as far as these physicochemical properties are concerned, like your melting point, like its refractive index, its optical activity, so these physical chemical properties can aid to alter by means of process of complexation for allowing that drug to be most interactive with other excipients and so as to develop that dosage form. The next application of complexation technique is associated with solubility enhancement of poorly water soluble drug. As the drugs are having profound influence of solubility on the bioavailability, so systematically you can say that the biopharmaceutical property of that drug like your absorption, distribution, metabolism and elimination are associated with solubility of that drug molecule. So out of the available drugs, you can say that nearly 40 to 45% drugs fails into the water solubility, and this is the reason why they are having limitations so as to develop a dosage form. So by means of complexation, you can work on solubility enhancement of that poorly water soluble drug. You can have various physical mixtures of drug and excipient. So by forming that complexes, by forming that physical mixtures, you are allowing that drug to be in contact with excipient. So the bond formation between them will help to reduce the solubility problems associated with your drug. And the basic reason why drugs are experiencing poor water solubility is their affinity. Moreover, you can say that the molecular weight, the physicochemical property like molecular weight is having influence on water solubility as well. The next application involved in the complexation is to reduce the volatility of a substance. The substance which are having high volatile nature, for that substances complex formation can help to reduce their volatility. For example, in order to develop a dosage form of eutectic mixtures, the capability of that eutectic mixtures to undergo liquefaction upon mixing, and thereby you can have the maintenance of their solubility by forming complexes. As we have discussed earlier, the solubility has impact on bioavailability of drug, and every drug which goes into systemic circulation is your bioavailability. So if the water solubility of drug is poor, then ultimately it will not form a homogeneous mixture with your system, and as it is not going to form a mixture, homogeneous mixture with your system, you will face a problem. For example, tetracycline. The tetracycline is the drug whose absorption and bioavailability can be reduced by forming insoluble metal complexes with calcium or magnesium. So you can form a complex to reduce the bioavailability of tetracycline. In a similar way, the adverse effects of or the toxic effects of drugs like indomethacin or chlorpromazine can be changed or can be altered by means of their complexes with cyclodextrin. So complexation will help you to reduce adverse effects associated with the drug molecule. So here in case of indomethacin or chlorpromazine, the ulcerogenic effect that has been produced by this indomethacin, and they will give you local toxicity by means of chlorpromazine. So this ulcerogenic effect and this local tissue toxicity of these two drugs can be reduced by means of their complexes with cyclodextrin. At the same time, we are having an idea about stability of vitamins. So vitamins like vitamin A and vitamin D are having stability problems, and these problems can be rectified by means of forming their complexes with beta cyclodextrin. As discussed earlier during the chapter your solubility, we have seen that beta cyclodextrin is having two kind of pores, hydrophilic and hydrophobic pores, making it more available for the process of engulfing or for the process of complexation of that drug. Similarly, the reactivity of drug is the kind problem of concern to deal with stability. So complexation will help you to reduce reactivity of compound, and which will ultimately result into improvement of stability of compound. So by means of this one, you can alter reactivity of compound, allowing them to be more stable. So when it comes about reactivity of that compound, then you can form their complexes, and once you are forming complexation, once you are having interaction between drug and its ligand, you can reduce reactivity of these compounds. The next application is regarding color. The color of coordination compounds which contains transition metals causes them to be most preferred coloring materials in the industries. They are having wide application in the dyes and pigment industries. As the dyes and pigment industries, or as the various manufacturers from the industry are trying to attract customers by means of their color, so complexation can serve as the beneficial tool for the coordination compounds to have color to the coordination compounds. The next application is regarding antidotes. The complexation will result into formation of complexes with toxic metal ions, and the heavy metal poisoning caused by these metal ions can be reduced to the extent by means of complexation. And yes, you can say that complexation will serve as an antidote in heavy metal poisoning. As like your coloring, electroplating is the industry which are finding useful application of coordination complexes. These are very useful in the extraction of many materials from their ores. Now these metals residing in their raw form, what you can mint for ores is their raw form. So as to extract that metals from their raw stones, from their crude material, you can have extraction of them by means of complexation. I will quote here example of nickel and cobalt. The nickel and cobalt can be extracted from their raw material via hydrometallurgy processes involving ions of coordination compounds. The next application of complexation is associated with diagnosis of kidney formation, kidney function, and glomerular filtration rates. Coordination of radionucleotide with citrate, if you are using technetium 90 as the radionucleotide, it will have a complex with citrate used to diagnose kidney function and glomerular filtration rate. In the same way, the complexes or chelates form EDTA and citrates are used as an anticoagulant, that is used in treatment of coagulation of blood. The next application associated with complexation is development of sustained release drug delivery system. So the complexation of drug and polymer can serve as a novel tool in the development of sustained release drug delivery system. So these are the wide applications of complexation, right from the alteration of their physicochemical properties. Complexation can be used to enhance solubility. They will help to reduce volatility of compound. At the same time, the absorption and bioavailability of some carcinogenic materials can be reduced by means of complexation, and you can have other applications which are having direct impact on stability of a compound. Thank you.